third spot in the European team Oxygen Esports, an incredible roster galvanized by that new addition of Rise. But Williams Resolve, they know their game plan, Cole.
What we've learned recently is that they are a team that are wanting to defend from the front.
Do you want to unmute?
In this split, actually, funnily enough, the people could hear me. Only you couldn't, for once.
Okay, I quite liked it, actually. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, I quite like that.
Anyway, as I'm sure can attest to, I was saying brilliantly, Stumpy, that they are, this split, the team that have conceded the fewest goals against them are Williams Resolve. In this event, they're second in that very same stat. So they seem to have found a way to stop the best teams in the world scoring against them. It's defending from the front, but it's also that when they do get their chances, why they're so good. It's the player who's just trying to rotate in right now, Noazaki. I know you've had your eye on him recently, mechanically speaking.
Yesterday when they were playing versus Liquid, where myself and Cole, we were up there doing the team streams, they were so fun to watch. They were quite terrifying, and Noah was, I think, pulling out a lot of mechanics where you'd see that typically on one of the very top flight European teams, or North American teams, of course. So I think there's more that we can be seeing from him in the future, but this Williams Resolve roster, alongside Breezy and Flame, they've found a lot of secrets here. Noah with his mechanics and the team as a whole with their defense. But coming up against Oxygen, one of the best teams in Europe at the moment, top 3 right now, it's going to be a long battle.
Top 3 right now, maybe based on Vitality's performance earlier, a clear number 2 are Oxygen. Perhaps it is time for me to
maybe
accept that one right there. But they're having to do some defending early on. Archie, this far post, just bundles that ball away. But Williams Resolve coming forward, and we're seeing the shape that made Team Liquid struggle against them so much yesterday in our sort of recent history. And now Oxygen are the ones experiencing that right now.
I mean, they pushed Liquid to 5. That's so hard to do, considering them today we saw Liquid deliver the 3rd ever 4-0 sweep over Moist. Like, it's such a big challenge to try and take Liquid onto that 5th game, and yet Williams did it. They were the hardest team in Group C, other than Liquid, to beat. So, yeah, I fully expect this to be a decent series. They are against the odds, though. They know that. Oxygen know that they are the better team here, theoretically, as Jorias has been a man unleashed recently.
Breezy closing down quickly, though, and now Flame can get it into the center. Rise just missing that one, or maybe leaving it for Archie, who comfortably takes it away. And I think we saw a really good sign for Williams Resolve just now. We saw Jorias launching one of his solo plays, and Breezy closed him down incredibly quickly.
Yeah, trying to go for those quick shutdowns is, I think, going to be the key to try and get rid of any real challenge. Like, again, Breezy getting rid of Archie's attempt as fast as he can and trying to nip every attack in the bud. That could be, paramount to trying to shut down the Oxygen offense. As though Breezy passed across to Noah, intercepted by Archie, low on boost in that scenario, however, and Williams relying on 1 for the boost for a moment. Flame on the right-hand wing, challenging versus Archie, and Archie manages to muscle his way through too.
May keep this going, Oxygen. It's a decent start for them. Decent start for Williams Resolve has turned into a bit more pressure right now for Oxygen. As Rice gets it going for Archie, who sends it forward, but again, pretty much to nowhere. So far, the structure of Williams Resolve is making Oxygen think twice. Not too many opportunities for solo plays. The ball is rarely theirs to bring under their spell. This could be the moment, though. Archie close down Noazaki. Rise tries to come in, but again, it's Breezy. He defends very quickly.
Archie's got a good chance here to go for a solo play, as all Williams players are grounded. It does get quite scary, as Noah then has to dive in front of the net. Breezy to send it central, and Flame to carry on too. Passing out of defense being sent, that we're seeing Williams Resolve do quite fantastically, I feel. They're not just being bogged down with sending it long and then the ball just being given away and the possession returning back to Oxygen. So Noah, in that chance, moving across the net entirely, pinched off the crossbar by Archie. Decent chance, and the first real terrifying shot against Oxygen.
Ooh, 2 Williams Resolve players combined there to get the ball away, and Breezy just nudges Rise out the way before he can do any damage himself. But they're defending right now to do for WR. Rise is going to take a touch. He's the player that Oxygen rely on, the newbie, the one that can change that pace of the game. Maybe that's what they were missing before with Oli. Maybe that's why it was painful for them when they made the major. Archie has a chance to shoot. Flame in there quick, nips it to the side, but it's more Oxygen pressure. Stumpy is starting to ramp up.
It's starting to turn, and the boost going very much in favour of Oxygen here, as Archie then gets a chance to shoot. Doesn't go for that right-hand side that was more open. Wanted to put it above and awkward on those Williams Resolve defenders. And Joris, with a nice touch too, allows the ball to pop out well towards Archie. Oxygen, the goal, glowing green.
But once Flame and Breezy, who've been closing down OXG so quickly so far in this series, are looking a little bit flat-footed there. They just had to watch the ball go over their shoulders and into the net. So now we've got Williams Resolve with 45 seconds left to try and get back into game number 1. It's not been disastrous for them by any means. It's been a close one between these two teams, which is certainly plenty to build upon. Breezy is beaten there by Jorias after being beaten by him earlier, or at least closed down. Resolve trying to get going. Breezy with the good touch. Fronts it out wide, wants to get this chase as well on Jorias. Does he get the pass? Well, maybe the stealth play. Archie nips in there. If Breezy had got the second touch stump here, it could have been dangerous.
Yeah, Breezy was really close to that touch as well. Just a cat's whisker away from being able to even up this game, I feel, because that shot would have been on target if he managed to get the perfect angle on it. But as that tries to fall down, Archie has to do a good job, wraps himself around the ball, gets it round both Flame and Breezy as we hit 0 seconds, rise in the skies, but the floor is where he aims, pinches down, Oxygen. Game number 1, somewhat predictably going their way, but I would say 1-0 is a very good start for Williams Resolve. That is not by any means a bad defeat for them. That's as well as they could hope for, seeing it was also a late goal.
In a best of 7, you know, there's a lot of time to build upon what you've started right there if you are Williams Resolve. And the game plan worked. Everything made sense for them right there. It didn't seem inconceivable that they would score this first goal. In the end, they didn't get it, and that's credit to Oxygen, but Williams Resolve very much in this one.
Yeah, for sure. And Oxygen, I feel, you know, they tried to play somewhat more of a measured game in that one too. They weren't going too crazy. They knew they were going to get shut down. Whenever there was somebody up then to challenge them, typically Breezy, I felt, was challenging quite early. They were then just immediately transitioning. We go for the 50 instead. We don't try and go for anything crazy. Just if we're getting challenged, go for a nice safe 50, and then it can drop to one of our other players. So Oxygen, I feel, with a bit more game management, but Williams' pressure, you know, we were really bigging up their defense previously. I think their pressure was something that was shocking Oxygen at the start of that one.
Well, we were talking about the Williams Resolve defending at the start. We have also to talk about the Oxygen attacking. Their ability to force goals is incredible. A big part of that, Archie as well. You know, he's a player who's been scoring goals all season and for so long right now for Oxygen. A fantastic player, and he's looking dangerous.
Ball in the middle as Noah then takes it towards that back left corner, steals that boost out as well, wanting to prolong that attack as much as they can. Jorias with 60, the flip reset, flings it high, saved off the goal line by Noah as he returns with that stolen boost. Noah again pinching towards that right side, and Jorias, if he starts to turn this on, it's going to get terrifying. The interception nice and quick too. Archie pre-jumps it, goes low. Oxygen break the defense.
Lovely play again from Oxygen. They're starting to warm up, and it's getting more dangerous right now for Williams Resolve. Just a simple pass into the center. It's an old school goal, just a slam down. And there it is, there it is. Lovely play from Oxygen.
45 seconds too, and being able to get that early goal for Oxygen is going to be not a confidence shatterer by any means for Williams Resolve, but it does mean that now they are going to be lacking. They need to be chasing that tail as much as they possibly can. Rise 15 along with Flame, puts the ball in the awkward position, but catches, flicks back around, wants to cut it over Flame, but he slows down enough to keep it onto that backboard. Archie catching, 20 boost, goes along with it. A demo in the sky as well. Now it's a brief 2v3 as Flame and Rise challenge each other aerially. Noah with one flip reset, goes up for the second, no contact made. And Jorias is able to save that one away. The corner is found once again as Rise with 50 sends it past 2 defenders, chain dashing wonderfully down the side of Forbidden Temple. Archie has now got a chance to shoot on that open net. 0 people in net. Rise with the double demo, but no contact made. And actually the long shot just finds itself wide of the net. I think it was Jorias as he landed, wanted that free shot, but Archie, he found himself falling onto the ball. The right wing now sees that player again. Flicking it high, Jorias has to follow back in defense. Archie to carry it on, and these passing plays out of defense are ones that are keeping Oxygen in a fantastic position, and it's not letting up too much pressure. Flame challenging from that backboard, pinches towards the left-hand wall, and Noah absolutely pings it netward.
He's clattered that one. A little bit of an opportunity for Williams Resolve, getting rarer as the game goes on and the series goes on. There's a fake there from Flame, starting to see what Williams Resolve are all about. Archie out wide. Flame is just beaten to it by Jorias, who keeps it going as well. We have to talk more about Jorias. This is the man who had so much mechanical hype on himself. He's slotted into Oxygen, but my goodness is he capable of breaking through defenses.
Oh, 100%. Jorius is still one of the most incredible players in the world. He's not had the best performance historically, but on Oxygen, with other mechanical players, I feel like he really becomes unleashed too. And with Rise joining that team, Oxygen are one of the most mechanical teams in the world at the moment. And it's a joy to watch them really pop off together too. We reach under halfway through this second game as Jorius, the man of the hour, tries to get a backboard double. Isn't able to, as Noah wants to lurk down the backboard, and lots of dumping the ball high, I feel, for Oxygen, wanting to give their teammates chances in the air to go for some more of the aerial plays. Because groundwork is a little bit of Williams Resolve's bread and butter at times.
They're going to start getting frustrated, though, because they still haven't scored a couple of games into this one, as the time is starting to tick down in game number 2. And that's the sort of thing that can just get in your head, get in your mind. Even for Williams Resolve, who are normally so strong mentally. Flame wants to get on top of this one. Jorius to the side. Rise sends it high to Jorius and cools them off it as well. So it's good to see Rise, who is still the newest player for them, cooling off his teammates. But I don't want to see those sort of misplays, not mechanically, team-wise and communications-wise from them too much. As knows like he goes to the backboard, but Rise once more in the perfect position and stays behind the ball all the way.
Jorius wanting to try something cheeky as we wanted him to do previously. The flip reset manages to go over the top of Noah Saki on target. Flame actually knows it's not on target. Instead, he leaves that ball and it's cleared away by Breezy. Long shots from Jorius, but with nobody following, Flame with such a heavy touch, I thought that was going to be a chance for him to pass. Isn't able to. Rise flip resetting, finds Archie on the floor. Nothing's come from that.
Breezy's going to keep things going. Time is definitely now ticking away. Flame sends it long. He was known as such a striker many seasons ago, was Flame. The fact that he's managed to keep that going up to now, so impressive. Yet to be on target here. Jorius pitches it into the center. There is Flame. Just sends it out wide. There's no one in front of him. Williams Resolve starting to look like they're running out of ideas in game number 2. And that's what Archie can pounce the ball up to the ceiling. Noah closed him down. What has Noah got in his locker, Stumpy? We were hyping him up at the start.
I feel like Noah is a very good opportunity maker, where if he's on the ball, much like literally anybody on Oxygen, he's able to think on his feet quite well. You see the same from your Seikos, and coming up is going to be Zen, where they have the ability to make a lot of plays from a position where, as a viewer and as a caster, a lot of the time I'm thinking, there's no way you can actually wrap yourself around that ball as well as I think you're about to. And with a pass like that from Breezy, Flame had an opportunity to make something special himself onto the sky. Now Saki onto the ceiling, but Rise again, the man to sink it. Oxygen with game number 2. And for a lot of that game, it felt like it was very low shooting to me. It ended up being about dead on average with around 8 or so shots per. But it was about 5 shots in total for the entire game. About, 4 minutes in. There were not many chances. And I think Oxygen, just getting that one goal. They had one goal with 2 shots. And about the 4-minute mark, or rather 4 minutes gone, Williams Resolve only had 3 shots. The average is 8. They were shooting at around half of what it should have been. So there's a lot of midfield play going on right now.
Somewhere in Norfolk, Stumpy, Shogun's ears have just perked right up because it is 2 1-0 games in a row. Anyone who doesn't know, Shogun has forever wanted a 1-0-1-0-1-0 series. I don't think we've ever had it cleanly. I think we might have had one with an overtime, but never straight in 5 minutes.
He's never casted one, definitely.
And he's definitely never casted one. So if it can happen in a best of 7,
I want to steal it from him.
It would always be known as Cole and Stumpy's.
It's going to be a Cole and Stumpy sweep instead of a Shogun sweep. And that's what he really wants as well. He wants us to go down in the annals of history, I feel.
Well, we may well do that, but the team that are trying to stop that happening have Breezy on the ball right now. Williams Resolve have goals in them. They are capable. They have to show it now against Oxygen, a team who seems to be warming up at the best time. Breezy does shoot, though. Jorius saves, and game 1 began the same. It started with Williams Resolve pressure. Oxygen held off and then countered just brilliantly.
I mean, we've seen chances for Williams Resolve to be getting a couple of goals, and again chances. Noah isn't able to get that ball, so instead he passed it over to Breezy. He doesn't want to go for just a pretty poor shot. Instead, this is all coming from that Noah pass, the pressure. Rise sends it long. Instead, Noah is able to get that ball around. Flame going for the bump on Archie, but no contact made on that instance. Rise touching that towards the right-hand side, which I don't think Archie particularly wanted to happen. The miscommunications, but nothing bad happened from it. Jorius passing to Archie, slams it towards the goal. Breezy chips it into the crossbar and then takes control himself to the air, and nothing coming from it just yet, but end-to-end action is continuing in this third game.
was a little bit dodgy there from Breezy, but got away with it in the end. Might not now, though.
Oh,
He
Noah.
somehow weaves himself in between two of the Oxygen players. The damage
Again.
is still potentially done. Rice sends it back. Archie surely this time. No, once more. Noah's stuck in defense. It's Jory's turn. He tries to slam it in. Breezy's there. Huge defending from Williams Resolve. Still not open. Still not in. Is it no flame this time? Williams Resolve survive. How on earth have they managed that one? Maybe now they won't. Jory's the backboard. And Breezy gets the easiest clearance of them all to a transition. Noasaki beats Rise.
No.
Can he get there? Always Breezy.
Oh!
Finish the turnarounds. Wonderful end-to-end stuff from Williams Resolve.
The blue net warding off any big shots their way, saving it efficiently, passing to their teammates, working it out, and then the counter-attack on the relatively open net. What a turnaround and counter-attack that ended up being by Williams Resolve, outwitting the Oxygen offense.
If anyone wants to know the blueprint of how Williams Resolve can beat these top teams, that is it right there. I said defending from the front. They can also defend in front of their own goal. They're happy to do so.
2 minutes down, and suddenly Williams Resolve find themselves alive. They smell blood in the water, and they're going to want to make sure that they can get on all of these attacks. Noasaki trying to go for a cheeky angle double, and Joris again sending long with no boost. He can't follow up on that ball. Rise, though, a big interception, and Noah diving in front of the net once again. I've been seeing and talking a lot about Noah's offense, but his defense in this game has been spectacular.
Williams Resolve starting to believe it now. They reached the round before the quarterfinals last time. This time they've already gone one further. Can they double that up, make those semis, and really put themselves into the major conversation? San Diego might have Williams Resolve's name ringing around its arena. They can keep pushing right now. Still so far to go, though, in this split and indeed in this series.
Yeah.
Indeed in this game, especially with Rise on the ball. Archie's going to take out one of them. Joris is closing down Flame. Flame is just about enough, and that seems to be the way that Williams Resolve are living in this series. It's always just about enough for them.
I mean, if they're going to be able to, even if they lose here, they get 8 points, which is massive. The double touch not coming in for Breezy. Instead, he pinched that actually underneath him. Chance of Rise to shoot instead, intercepted again, yet by Noasaki. If they can win this, though, they get 12 points. They get those 4 bonus points just for getting into that semi-finals. It's going to be big for their season, and if they're going to be able to, push for all those majors, which would be a huge achievement for this team, then it has to be starting in this match against one of the hardest opponents in the entire region.
Breezy just goes for a long booming ball over the top of Archie, who's not going to fall for that one. And tees it on a play for his Dutch teammate, Joris. Archie trying to get up the best of Noasaki. Yeah, it was good bumping play there from Noasaki. Archie did decently just to wiggle his way towards that ball and keep it going. But Williams Resolve, since scoring, have stepped up their game so much.
Yeah, they've managed to not really find themselves defending a huge amount, which I think they're going to quite like. The pass coming in, Noah whipping on that opportunity, but Flame onto the open net, isn't able to get the pass to Archie. You can just take it on the floor and then go straight to this guy. Pinched off the ceiling, that's on target. But Noasaki yet again saving away. He himself has had just 3 saves, but they have been the difference between currently leading and a draw rolling in as Rise makes me shut my mouth.
Joris with the mechanics just keeps himself floating in the air. Breezy wasn't expecting it. Tees up Rise. And Noasaki got a big old chunk of that ball, but it wasn't enough of a chunk. As in the end, it did disintegrate in that blue goal. So
mechanically masterful for Oxygen, I think, in the latter part of this game, I feel. They've started to turn it around a lot.
Joris gone for a couple of those fake flips as well, backflipping, where his opponents would have been expecting him to go into the ball. It's definitely faking out Williams Resolve. Perhaps Oxygen were realizing that WR just had the read on them completely. They've upped the unpredictability. What's Archie got in his locker to the backboard? It's not unpredictable, but it's so clean.
It's clean, but it's helped off the face of Flame as well. The last man to touch the ball, as that one doesn't go in. Flame, an own goal towards the end of game number 3. Oxygen find themselves in the lead with the help of a Resolve player.
Flame's barging forward. Wants to keep this one going. Good play, getting the demo and keeping the ball. There is a pass in the center. It's Noasaki. Needs to beat Rise, can't do it. Breezy's turn now. He's got boost, but he's closed down by Rise. Brilliant defending, brilliant attacking. Everything tied into one, and it's 3-1.
I feel like Oxygen really have put their mark on the latter half of this game. They've conquered Williams Resolve. when they really felt like they were going to be thinking, okay, game number 4 potentially, you know, they're defending incredibly well, they're pushing us to our limit, but in the end, the sheer raw talent that we're seeing from Oxygen have pulled them ahead, and also Flame's face getting in the way of the ball and just putting it in low.
This one's just ticking away. It's pretty much done right now. It's going to be 3-0 to Oxygen.
The old confidence, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a tough loss because there was such a good period of play there for Williams Resolve where they were the better team for a good 45 seconds. And I don't think it's a surprise that now is the time they take their tactical timeout.
That is a win that Oxygen are going to be thinking, we would have got it regardless of whether whether Flame put that ball in our net. You know, like, it doesn't matter too much. They're thinking, we got 3 goals. Like, we were winning that 2-1 regardless. But this is on Tadpole now. The brand new coach that we're seeing move from that more managerial position at Williams Resolve and going into filling that coaching role. The words that he's going to be able to inspire his team with just make them just stop thinking about it. Like, don't think about that game. We're good. We got the lead. We could have won that game. We didn't. Cool. Let's just win the others. I've seen him do a lot of team talks on the Resolve Twitter when they've been doing their content they've put out. And I like the way that he speaks to them. He's very honest. He's very blunt. And I think that sometimes that's what these teams need.
It could be that. It could be that maybe this is the moment they need a little bit of an arm around the shoulder because they have been improving game on game. They do look more than capable of at least getting a dent on this Oxygen vehicle that just seems pretty supreme at the moment. I think 4-0 would be harsh on Williams Resolve, based not just on this series, but how they're playing in this tournament in general. As for Oxygen, though, they're stepping up. They are keeping Williams Resolve at arm's length. They didn't get tilted by the goal they conceded. I mean, I'm casting it. I was tilted that they didn't score, then they conceded.
So looking at timeouts in Europe this season, it's around 56% win rate once you call a timeout. So just a smidge over half. Of course, that's going to be depending on what your initial seeds are going into the match. But also, interestingly, teams near enough double the amount of goals they get per game. So Williams Resolve, if they're getting 1 or 2, after a timeout, you're looking at maybe they're going to be getting 3 or 4. That's what we can see happen. And I think it's one of those confidence-inspiring moments where Williams have to look and think, all right, Utopia, this is our map. This is where we can do it. And this is how we're going to be able to rocket back up and into this series.
This is our map. We never lose on Utopia. Even though they're all the same, this is the one.
This is the one. We're inspired by the pillars. Come on.
Listen, I mean, pros, they love their placebos, don't they? You know, if you think that using Cristianos makes you more likely to get clean double taps, then maybe the map makes a big difference as well in these guys' minds.
I mean, that's exactly what Williams Resolve are going to have to be thinking. They have to make sure that they put that last goal out their minds. Not a big issue. They move on. But Oxygen, we've spoken a lot about Resolve. Oxygen, they are currently 3-0 up in a series that they absolutely feel that they should be winning. They are one of the greatest teams in Europe at the moment. They're being removed from the pitch, and Breezy can get quite a lackadaisical flick.
Oh, it's
Flame comes in. It was a pass all along.
Yeah, that's old-fashioned Flame as well. Just being nippy at the goal line, prodding it into the net. Good, clean finish. Good, clean fun there from Williams Resolve. And yeah, it's disappointing that Breezy, a man who has his own flick, did such a poor flick. But hey, it's worked though, so it was a good flick.
Yep, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And that's a really nice goal to be getting as well for Resolve. Thinking, cool, right, we're back in. All right, scrub that last game off, no worries. Oxygen starting to have to chase early on in this game. Archie putting it behind Flame, but Flame's able to contort his car to be able to tap that one away.
Who's arriving there now? It's Jories. The double tap is attempted, but Breezy closed it down. Can't quite complete his own double tap. And that's going to let the one bounce into the centre. That was a chance, I think, from Archie. Maybe I couldn't see from my angle, but it looked like he had a clean hit and could have diverted that one into the net.
Jory is nice and high onto that backboard. The acute angle cut down by Noah Saki. Archie just to shoot dead on target. Flame can get that good clear away. I think Oxygen are trying to challenge Resolve to do a bad clear. Just shoot normally, get a bad clear, and then we can just do cleanup duty. Like exactly what happened with Breezy and Flame earlier versus Archie. Hasn't happened just yet, though.
Flame clears this one long. He's going to be there for Oxygen to keep it going. Sort of a control copy paste from earlier on, the attempt that Joris had down that right wing. This time it was Rise. Well, it does come back. Joris to the side. Noazaki's coming in. Good little tap there into the corner, but Archie can just boom that one long. And Williams Resolve aren't quite following up. This is where you need a player like Flame to be reading those bounces off the backboard.
Yeah, Flame taking on that poacher role, theoretically, where he's going to be able to just, go for one of those awkward touches. And Breezy challenging Archie in the corner, making him relinquish control of that ball. He doesn't need to touch it himself. He just has to get it away from the player. Archie to tap that one down. Doesn't fall exactly how he wants, but Rise can catch, Rise can fake, and Rise can just get tackled.
And tackled again there by Noazaki. Actually, Rise's touch, I think, added some pace onto that ball, kept it going, the slight pinch that was generated. Joreuz to Archie potentially. Oxygen still trying to find each other. Still utilising their mechanics, not rushing things just yet. Maybe that'll change in the next couple of minutes or so. Breezy for now. Has some control. He has no boost, though, so just gets it as far as he possibly can. Oxygen are reading this a little bit easily. I feel like Williams Resolve, if they do concede here, what they're going to regret is they didn't really push the matter when they were 1-0 up.
Rise, seeing that net is completely open after the Archie challenge, is going to be very happy that he's not done an embarrassing open net miss. But Williams Resolve, committing so heavily down that right wing, has opened up their back line to punishment halfway through this game. And although they had that early goal, that second one is going to be a bit devastating for them.
Nice idea from Noazaki there with the floor pinch, but it didn't quite happen. And yeah, they were committing men forward before, but they weren't really playing particularly incisively. I didn't get the impression that they believed they could double their lead. Now they've got to do it all over again and redo what they did at the start of this game. Breezy's there, but it's closed down by Archie. Great defending. Now Flame's got a real problem in front of him. Joreuz doesn't have the flick, though. The one too faster.
He shot too early. Archie wasn't able to get the bump, sure, but then he just slowed down and try and go for another one. But Joreuz, he flicks it too confidently. He just has to go for the 50 because Rise is also following up. That was literally a 3v1, and Flame has outmuscled all of them.
Flame the god, the old school god, is the Englishman. Now he gets it to the side. Rise can't get there. Archie's coming in. Oh, no, no, please! Breezy clears it, but it's still going in. Breezy again! Joreuz is steaming in. Breezy stays behind the ball. And are we going to have a repeat of game 2? Will this turn into a chance for Williams Resolve? Here is Flame to finish what he started. But Noazaki isn't there.
God, I'm really very happy for Flame that's not gone in. Because if you get 2 in one series to lose the lead as well, yeah, you can't be doing that too often. But we approach the final minute, and Noazaki down that left wing forces Rise to come into the air, bumped off the ball, and so Joreuz, rather Archie can catch on that backboard. Breezy, though, with great control, has to lure Joreuz in. Again, the ball just being relinquished from one. Flames his Schuber save from a diving Archie.
That must have been the just pixels at the end of his hitbox. I thought he'd missed it, but somehow it cannoned off Archie and stayed out the net. Flame booms it. Archie's going to be there again. Another save to add to the stats. 547 points despite no goals. Can't quite reach that one, but Joreuz does. Williams Resolve pushing forward. Lovely pass from Breezy to Flame.
Oh my God.
Save back Joreuz. Noazaki's turn. Gets it past Rise. Jukes. Who else, Stumpy, is there? It's Archie.
They are assailing the orange net. There's no way that that can hold off if that carried on for any more time than it ended up doing so. Breezy to challenge again in the skies, shielding either end of this pitch. Archie drop back down. Joreuz to shoot, but Noah bides his time and defends.
Oxygen aren't the only ones that can make crazy saves. They might have to make another one now. It's arriving. It's just the ball's alone in the air. Flame to the centre. Rise is all alone there. Joreuz doesn't have a pass it to Archie. This could be the series right now. Noazaki saves it. And no one else is following up. It's overtime.
That is a devastatingly fast shot from Archie, and the dive across net from Noah to just trust to wait and then go for it. That is real composure. Overtime, this is to decide whether we continue in the series or Resolve call it quits in the quarters.
Breezy's missed that one. Joreuz is in here up against Flame, but his first touch is heavy. Rise's isn't. It's perfect. So precise. Noazaki in front of him. No boost for Rise, but he does have the ability to 50 it and get the floor pinch. Oxygen have started the overtime better, Stumpy.
They started it better. They're starting it by just trying to bombard that blue net as much as they possibly can. Now a left wing again, trying to find that ball far. Flame can just catch up on that one that Archie decides to give back. Dangerously drops in front of the orange net. Everyone held their breath.
That was so ugly as far as Oxygen are concerned. A horrible few moments for them. Breezy has missed it. Noazaki is actually trying to benefit now from a team bump from Oxygen. Flames there to the side. Who's behind him? Rise Gets that one over the top of the goal. Good play again from Rise. Noazaki's turn. Williams resolve. Piece of pressure for them. No one misses it. Now Breezy's coming in. Is anyone going to be in the centre for Williams resolve? Again, not quite there. A little bit far back, that third man. And Oxygen can keep things going with a doink. A lovely doink. A skimmer. But it's just only as far as Breezy.
Breezy just kissing the ceiling as he continues down the pitch. A shot on just above the target. No against challenge. That's all three committed though at Breezy. Fantastic positioning and composure. Zero boost, just knows keep the ball and we're going to be okay. But now Joris has a chance here to pass to one. Noasaki so pushing far up that pitch.
No boost at all for Archie. He wave dashes his way to the ball to get it. And then Flame. The ball's going over, but who's it going to be underneath? Noazaki. So many times in this game, the ball has looked for all the world like someone's going to tap it in, but no one's been there to answer the call.
A goal nearly fabricating out of nothingness. But Oxygen pinching goalward. Above the crossbar is going to be the saviour for Williams resolve. Archie backflipping. Breezy, again I feel, just with zero boost, but wanting to be that man. Flame burns his to pass the ball to Jorias. Noasaki high in the skies as Flame now catches on that left wing. Passes across to Breezy. Shoots the corner of a crossbar. Shuts them down.
What an effort, but not quite to be yet again. The overtime lives on. Joris is actually beneath him. He has to just try and get this ball somewhere safe. I don't think there is anywhere safe. Not the way Williams resolve are attacking. There's Flame. It's just such a loose touch, though. It's all he could do, unfortunately. Now it's Oxygen's turn. Archie doesn't catch it. He shoots it fast. Flame to the side. Joris needs to do something here. He gets it towards Rise. One tap to himself. The second touch, the shot. Save. The defending Stumpy is world-class this game.
It's ridiculous. Both teams are doing as much as they possibly can to keep that snappy ball out of the net. I'm amazed that they're able to... We're currently 3 minutes into overtime. This could have ended at 10 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. There have been so many opportunities for it to be over for either team. Flame removing Archie from the pitch in that occasion. Jorius, with one flip reset, keeps the ball. Past it, central. Rise able to intercept the possession continues for Oxygen, but shut down by Noah yet again.
Ooh, Noazaki was so close to Flame. The ball miscommunication. There was a miscommunication there. Rise as Archie in the centre. He goes in. A quick shot. Flame hangs from the ceiling, swats it away. And Jorius can't do anything with this first touch. You're right about this overtime as well, Stumpy. Some of them that last this long can be a little bit passive, a little bit dull. This is nothing of the sort. It's enthralling from 1 second to the next. Archie misses. And Rise can slow it down.
And we've had 14 shots apiece. 28 in total this game. It has been a full assault on either side of the pitch. Utopia has seen gladiators battle yet again.
Archie into the centre. Flame has some trouble here. Rise again with the early shot. He's tried that a couple of times. I do want to see him double tap it though. There's so much space above that Williams resolve goal that he's not using. One more chance for Rise maybe. Now he just has to watch Breezy take his shot. It was cheeky, but Noazaki can't quite get there. Curious, how are your mechanics now? Goes for the flip instead. Gets it! Almost gets it in. Morgan defending! Noazaki charges it down so fast!
Inspirational defense from everyone on resolve. Archie, though, into the sky. His resourcefulness leads into Rise again. The crossbar keeps this game going. Archie to shoot. And Noah, get down, Mr. President. This game continues.
Torres up against Flame. Flame wins an important win for Williams resolve. Archie up against Noazaki. Archie high. Flame is trying to take out one of the Oxygen players. It's not going to happen, so they can just keep this one coming. As Rise has so much boost as well. The boost management flawless. The attack so close. The match somehow still alive. The game still alive. Noazaki lets in Flame.
Warriors go skyward. One reset with Noah shutting it down. It falls back to Rise. Bumped into the ball though with Jorias. Rise challenging alongside Breezy. We find ourselves in just the eye of the hurricane. It's going to get crazy again incredibly soon. The defense is needing to take a quick breather because they have been stretched thin.
It's 5.5 minutes of the most extreme concentration you can possibly imagine, with the bumps that are going on as well. You cannot take your eye off this for a second if you're a player. Rice's first touch remains flawless. How is he still getting fakes? He's almost past Breezy. He's nearly the lion at the heart of Utopia Coliseum.
Since I said about 14 shots apiece, Resolve haven't had a single one more, whereas Oxygen have increased their shots to 20. Their average is 8.38. They've had nearly triple the amount of shots they typically would in a game.
I've aged about 4 years in this match alone. My hair is receding, would you believe?
Would you believe? I can't imagine such a thing.
Exactly, mate, exactly. It's crazy scenes right now. Archie is coming in, can't quite get it.
Oh, Breezy.
Breezy dribble in and drab in. Noazaki is there. There's a miss from Jorias. It falls to Archie. It's definitely slowed down a bit, but almost makes it more nerve-wracking.
Rise wanting to pass it towards Archie, waiting on that right-hand side of the pitch. The ball does find him, but Rise is going to be giving his life for the opportunity. Flame up for the double touch. Touched away by Jorias. Could have been devastating, but Rise was back. With 0 boost at this point, though, it starts to all run away for Oxygen. Archie removed, so at least he's going to get 33 on the respawn. A flip reset! Oh! That was saved away by Archie on the respawn.
Oh, but it could still be going in for Breezy! There was the bump that came in! The whole world slowed down. Everybody watched Breezy strike. It was Flame's bump. There was another one on the goal line. Archie, for once, couldn't get there. Williams' resolve survived.
36 shots in a single game of Rocket League. The defense, the offense, everything in that match was on the line, and Williams' resolve find themselves walking out bloody battered and victorious until literally the next game. It's now 3-1 in favor of Oxygen, and Resolve have got to hope they've not burned themselves out.
When you step in the Coliseum, you have to be ready for a fight. You have to be ready for unexpected weapons to be thrown at you from every single direction. And all 6 of these players in that game absolutely were. I just want to take a second to appreciate that game of Rocket League, Stumpy. That is a great advert for why we're all here, why we love watching the RLCS, and why it's all so good to watch. I love it. I'm giddy, man.
They're the kind of ones that are just, you're excited to look back and see what the minutiae in that game were, what the difference makers were, because that just looked like 2 heavyweights taking chunks out of each other and seeing who the first of fall is. And if there's one map that's going to be giving us the theme for seeing who goes home and whether Oxygen can burn Resolve out, it is Wasteland. Game number 5 is where they continue their push.
Out of the frying pan that is the Coliseum and into the fire of this wasteland to see if Williams Resolve can stay alive and go even further in this tournament. Oxygen themselves battling for their 2nd semi-finals in a row. They will still be wounded from the last regional, Stumpy. Losing that Game 7 overtime to Vitality in the semis, that's not what they're about. That's not what they're here for. Anything less than victory for them is failure, and that goes without saying in this series too.
I mean, they've been making sure that they don't fall down in the semi-finals again. They'll be looking at Resolve as a team that, yes, obviously we can beat them. Like, yeah, okay, they had a decent group battle, but like, yeah, they beat Vitality, and Vitality weren't as good as when they beat us. This is very winnable for Oxygen, but it is utterly inspiring for Resolve as Jorias tries to go for something just revolting.
This series as well, it seemed for a couple of games now that something a little bit special was brewing, and I feel like players do get that sense. They get the sense, oh, this one's going to go to 7, oh, this one's going to be tough. One of our opponents is going to step up right now. It seems like a battle. So I think that any thoughts of Oxygen underestimating Williams' resolve? No more, especially not after that last game.
The attack continuing from that previous game as Resolve are pushing on the orange side of our pitch. Rise gets demoed out of the way. Flame up for the double, but nothing there until Breezy opens the scoring for Williams Resolve.
The momentum remains such a defining factor in Rocket League. Flame there calls out a miss from Jorias, and Breezy has, I think, a shot that he can't believe how simple it is in a series like this.
I mean, it was Flame who looked like he was going to be threatening that double, but the whiff, the miss, the calculated risk, whatever it ended up being, that opened it up entirely. And it's that respect that I think can be taken advantage of for Oxygen. If they're going to be expecting that Resolve are going to be hitting everything, and equally, vice versa, you can take advantage of that. These fakes, especially the ones that Jorias are putting forward, maybe they need to come out just that little bit more.
Rise with a big solid clearance. I think that's what Oxygen needs, some clean touches. That's good from Archie as well, beating Noah to the ball. Jorias is coming in. He tries for the instant shot. It's going to wiggle its way in, is it, via Archie? Yes, it is.
That post bounce going perfectly for young Archibald. It bounces right into his path. Shot wide by Jorias, but into the position that he needed to be in. And Archie then finding the opposite side of the net. The equalizer for Oxygen is going to be giving them breath.
Is Archie short for Archibald in general?
I have literally no idea.
Oh, respect.
I just sort of said it, yeah.
I liked it. We'll do a little bit of searching after. Rise is searching for another goal. Almost getting it. Breezy flashes in from the side to get the save.
Opportunities starting again to apparate for Oxygen. 2 minutes have gone. 2 goals have gone in. Who's going to be getting that third?
It could be young Flammable right there who has the ball. Breezy charges him down, and there he is now, 100 boost to his name, off the ceiling with him. Juri's huge clearance as well. The big boomer ball has begun, Stumpy, and I think that's okay. This is like a mental break almost in this series, as much as you can have one at high-level Rocket League.
I don't think either team is gonna have to think, okay, let's take a break, because the other one, they might not relent. They might not agree to that ceasefire, and I absolutely would not blame them. Archie finding Rise on that right-hand wing with only 30 boost, though. Couldn't get the corner. He chips it around one, fakes it below the other, but Flame is able to clear it away. Breezy is in a great position to shoot, but Jory is intercepting before it becomes dangerous.
That almost backfired horrifically. Rise was like a human golf tee, just teeing up the ball, letting his opponents charge it down and get it all the way back to the orange goal, if not quite on target. Juris takes his touch. It's another setup for Noah Zaki. Maybe Oxygen being a little bit too clever for their own good right now. And Williams resolve. They can punish you if you do that, but this is where the cleverness of Oxygen is brilliant. When Jurius has the ball, Archie pumps it towards them. Is he going to get this one or leave it? He puts it into the center, and Flames reading it. Williams resolve. They're getting these reads yet again. Do they have the mechanics to punish Oxygen? Breezy! Oh, we ends it so nonchalantly.
Game 4's winner. Breezy takes it through the sky, beats 3 of them, and just taps it below the last. Breezy, the man's just bonkers.
It's a beautiful landing. All 4 wheels on the floor. Let it hit you. Watch it roll in. Explosions. I bet you anything, Breezy did not look at that explosion. That's how cool that was.
0 chance. You bet he didn't. Rise their passing. Joris gets it on target. Every single Williams goal is responded to efficiently and quickly.
We've just had an epic overtime, and now we're having an epic game on Wasteland. Look at that. Just smashed in, slapped in from Jurius.
Hit it hard. Just sometimes you just need to hit it hard. You can't be trying to get these slow rollers, Breezy. Just have a supersonic slapper at the net.
Yeah, and Jurius definitely looked at that explosion. 1 minute and a half left. He's not cool. No. Breezy, he takes a touch. Archie tries to close him down, not quite able to. Breezy tries to take out Jurius. Not quite able to yet again, but they keep on coming. Williams resolve. They'll never stop. Nowasaki hasn't quite got the angle, at least to shoot, but he does get a hell of a dunk on that one. In the middle, Flame up against Rise. Rise always has that composure to slow down when needed, but they're still in trouble right now.
My
Oxygen. Breezy's slow, Rise is bumped.
All these bombs.
And we have some neutral play.
Forget the ball, just dribble Rise down the pitch instead, because that managed to work out in favour of Resolve. Under a minute remains as Jorius on the left side takes it high with one flip reset. He just runs into Breezy, who pre-jumped him so early that it shuts down every angle that he fancied, and Jorius was unable to adapt to it.
Flame has a couple of teammates in the centre, but he didn't want that to happen. He didn't want to find Jorius.
Just jab it at the net.
Left and right with the dribble. Tried to get it on target. It was closed down at the last second by the Williams Resolve defense. He has boost to his right, leaves it to Rise. Now Rise is there with that boost. Wants to get a little flick for himself, carrying the ball but wide. Has to get out of there and let in Archie.
Yeah, doesn't want to give that possession away either by taking a weak shot. Rise then finds his way into saving that next shot that comes in from Flame. With low boost again, Breezy challenges so incredibly early. Oxygen being shut down in the sky every single time, and yet that's where they still default.
We're once again approaching a point where 1 goal for Oxygen will kill this series
Joris
and put them in that semi-finals.
That's right.
It's overtime, Stumpy. I can barely handle this. I don't know about you.
They don't want it to be as long as the last one, I'm sure. I think Resolve are going to be wanting the result, of course, to continue to be in favour of them in the overtimes, but Oxygen need it to turn around. Breezy with 100 boost. He's done magic from these positions before, and he outwits Jorius, gets that fast flick, clears it away. 2 committing on that ball. Breezy, I don't think fancied it, because now Archie with 100 boost can go high. Wants to shut him down on that backboard. Breezy has to take the touch close, and my God, is Breezy having a brilliant series.
He is, but there's so much space around the pitch, and I'd say mechanically, that's where Oxygen have the biggest advantage. They'll be pretty happy with the shape of this overtime, as Flame just pumps it towards the goal, but Jorius can dance that one away. One too many again. Maybe Oxygen being a little bit too smart, like earlier. Away on it for now. Rise against Breezy. He wants the ball to be his. Nowazaki and Flame, the 2 of them commit. It's lead to a clean touch for Oxygen. What can Jorius do with it? Not enough. The Flame has missed. Some of the nerves, some of the exhaustion starting to set in. Not for Jorius, though. But
He
Breezy
hesitated.
stands up straight.
But Joris hesitated. He went to, I think, half fake it, and then he went back in for the shot, whereas he should have just committed to one or the other. That then allowed Breezy time to come in and challenge the ball. Those 0.1 seconds decide goals.
Ozaki has a pass into the center to Archie. The last thing he wanted to do, Rise could kill it. It's met by Breezy. Breezy, a huge save. Sending the ball high. What
Demo.
the last couple of minutes that man has had. Who's going to get this boost? It's Archie and the ball as well. Breezy called into action yet again. So important right now for Williams' resolve. The MVP in this game, as far as they're concerned. Archie the MVP of the series if that one goes in. It's just wide. Williams' resolve, terrifyingly stay alive.
And Oxygen are sitting on their fabled 14 shots at the moment. Just again, whereas it's not quite as impressive for Williams, sitting only on 6. The pressure for Oxygen has been immense.
Williams' resolve. Who knows of how these overtimes go? Maybe they will catch up to Oxygen's impressive shot count. But not if they keep losing the demo battle. Right, that flame up incredibly early again.
3 jumps from everybody on Williams' resolve. They're sitting there, knowing, reading the books. They've read the encyclopedia of Oxygen. They know where these shots are going.
Oh!
Flame again, man!
How has he read that? Every inch of the octane was just reaching. I thought it was out of his grasp. Another attack comes in.
Reset.
A huge flip. Reset. Oh, off the crossbar. Victorious crossbar again. Rise, though, is going to finish it right there. Oxygen make the semi-finals.
Magnificence on Wasteland sees one king walk away. Oxygen regain their breath and their place in the semis. On Williams' resolve, they battled hard as they could. They gladiatorially walked out of Utopia. But Wasteland is where they find themselves buried. That series was a just defensive goodness embodied. I'm in love.
I'm exhausted having just watched that. And that was only, what, a 4-1 as well? Like,
4-1.
History will say that was comfortable for Oxygen Esports, but it was nothing of the sort if you were actually watching.
Williams Resolve, although they find themselves out, they have got so much to be proud of. They are contending at the top flight of the RLCS at the moment. But what is the top flight of RLCS without Carmine Corp? After the break, we're going to be seeing them take on German Amigos.